Welcome, one and all. I'm just gonna stare this thing down until I see names pop up. Well. Welcome. Hello from a recovery day. I had a rough night. It's been a long time since I got punched full strength in the head 6 times. Actually, it's never happened. I think like 3 is my limit. Bad day for me. I had a rough night. So I'm gonna stream nice and early today. I'm gonna tell you all this crazy story, and then I'm gonna go and lay back down with a bag of frozen French fries on my head. No, come on, me? You know me. I'm never putting my hands on anything ever again after the past 2 years of my life. My hands are never going on anything. Foolishly, I thought that I hadn't learned that lesson should have transcended to dogs as well. So, let's jump into it. I go to the dog park yesterday. It's just me, this lady who's got a smaller dog and a bigger dog, this guy who shows up, a couple people on the small dog side. All the dogs are having a good time. It's a good day. This dude all tatted up, big old dumb looking pit bull, shows up, comes in. Within 30 seconds, his pit bull is getting really snappy. So I say to him, hey man, you know you can't have like bitey dogs in here, right? He doesn't speak English really. Not really. But enough that he knows to call me, and there's gonna be some, I won't use the words he used, but one of them starts with an F, one starts with a P. These are words that you typically call somebody when you want to demasculate them. And so I'm like, oh great, this is gonna be great, right? So I turn his dog, as I'm saying this to him, he starts getting really kind of crazy. With all the dogs, the whole pack of them are kind of like getting a little weird. So I say to him, I'm like, dude, go grab your dog. He doesn't make a move. So I say, all right, I'm gonna go grab your dog. I went over, got behind the pit bull so it wouldn't bite me. Grabbed its little tiny chain collar that it had on. Hilarious collar that this thing had on. The thing, because he's obviously not a super friendly dog anyway, between me grabbing at him and him pulling away, the chain snaps. Uh-oh. I'm not paying attention because I'm trying to break up this dog fight and I got this thing in my, and next thing I know, I'm getting rocked. I felt him 1, 2, 3, boom, boom, boom. I was like, whoa. Hands up. For the next few, 1, 2, 3 again. I was like, I looked up at him. I was pretty pissed at this point. I was like, you got any more of those you want to throw? He realized he wasn't gonna faze me because he had already taken all the cheap shots he was gonna get, and I ate them like I was eating cereal. And So he starts leaving. I bust out the camera. I call 911 immediately, right? Cops are en route. I got this guy. He's leaving the park. Witnesses are all coming over. We saw what happened. We saw what happened. He gets back to his car. I'm trying to get his license plate. He bends his license plate in half. Opens up the back of his car so that I can't even see it. Peels off with his son in the car, and the dog leaves his wife behind. Dumps a bunch of stuff out the back of his car. I'm like, okay. He's got to come back for his wife, right? So I just start running. She's running, but I'm running, and I'm fit, dude. Like, I can run. So I just chased him. By the time I got to the top of the dog park, the cops had already showed up. And apparently, Polk County is the Wild Wild West. Because not only does nobody get charged last night, but we all walk away with like, we're supposed to feel lucky or something. Anyway, I don't want to get into that too much because I'm trying to avoid the feeling of bringing all the videos that I have and going down and speaking with the supervisor at the station and blah, blah, blah. Really, I just want to let the situation, we're just going to let it have happened, right? And just move on. Here's the deal. As I said to Jenna last night and my dad and to Pat yesterday, as I talked to all these guys last night, just to let them know I was okay. I have yet to, let's talk about my part of this. Obviously, this guy, he's a piece of shit. We don't have to talk about him. But what's my part? Well, my part is I should have gotten my dog and just left and let that dog eat that lady's dogs. What do I care? Right? He's lucky you didn't have a gun. I'm lucky he didn't have a gun. He would have shot me, dude, right there in the dog park. And apparently they all would have just been cool with it too, because who the hell knows? Like literally, six shots to the face. That guy went home and slept in his own bed. Pretty amazing, right? It's a pretty amazing county that we live in. But I will say that I'm not here to escalate situations, right? Like Amy was saying, whatever, I hope you got a few good shots. And a bunch of people messaged me that. They were like, oh, I would have kicked this guy's ass. I'm like, no, that's not the point. You're missing the point here. Violence doesn't solve anything, ever. I'm 100% advocate of nonviolence. A healthy, hearty discussion, sure. But I'm a nonviolent. I've moved into a non-violent state of my life, right? I don't hit my dog when she's bad. I wouldn't hit my kid if he was bad. I wouldn't get mad at somebody like at the store and throw something at them because I was mad. I don't think physicality is the way to solve things most of the time, right? So honestly, getting on top of the dog and the collar snapping and all that was bad, you know? I could tell that he was going to get super pissed. Obviously, that's his dog, right? He has a level of protection for his animal as well. He doesn't want me, to hurt his dog. So that doesn't give him the right to do what he did, but it certainly all provides, I suppose, a situation where who knows, right? Who's right and who's wrong and blah, blah, blah. It's Florida. Everything just happens and it's just you move on. If it happened up north, you know what I mean? It'd been a different thing. So, luckily, let's talk about the good side of all this. Luckily, I've learned a very valuable lesson yesterday in that I know at Disney, we're at almost 700 days, right? Almost 700 days in. 200 days ago, I had a moment at Disney that clarified everything for me. Since then, we've had no issues. None. With guests. A couple cast member pain in the asses, but we haven't had any guest issues because what have I done? I get up and I move. I leave. I walk away. I might be a little complaining if somebody runs their cart into me, but I just walk away, right? Same situation, right? Because Disney World, I might feel some entitlement there, right? I'm like, oh, this is my place. I'm a content creator here. I'm this, I'm that. I'm an annual pass holder, DVC. I own this and that. Reality is, and when you're in public places, you have to realize that your best bet is if anything starts going down, is to just walk away. Like even all the people who said they were witnesses to the event, all of them said they didn't know who threw the first punch or whatever. I was like, threw the first punch? I'm like, look at my hands. I'm like, does it look like I hit anybody, dude? I look at this guy's face. I mean, apparently, because thankfully, I was getting shots to the side of the head because. Anyway, it sucked. I also learned the I speak no English tactic. Exactly, I've gotten better at it, you know? It just sucked. Nobody wants to get punched in the head. Even if you can get punched in the head, like I can, you don't want to get punched in the head. My head hurts like a motherfucker today. It's killing me, right? And now, from now on, when I see a pit bull show up, I'm gonna dip. Ari's played with a lot of pit bulls. I hate to discriminate the dog. I wouldn't actually discriminate the dog. I'm gonna discriminate the owners. When I see pit bull owners coming in with a bunch of tattoos, all like Latinoed up, like, oh yeah, this is, you know, I'm just gonna be like, yep, there's another one of these guys, you know, whose dog that I'll be ready to try to like break up a fight, and then next time it'll be a guy who's like gonna stab me instead. Great, now I got stabbed. Not waking up the next morning because my head hurts a little bit or whatever. Like, no, I'm waking up the next morning in the hospital because I got stabbed, you know? It's not worth it. Let that guy's pit bull eat those ladies' dogs. What the hell do I care? Ain't my dog. That dog's too fast for this pit bull. She jumped right out as soon as you started getting crazy and I ran over there. She knew exactly to get out of the whole thing. And I'm fine. Could have been so much worse, you know. I was a little disappointed in how the situation unfolded in terms of like, you know, even the Polk County sheriffs last night, they were like, oh, you know, he could press charges on you. I'm like, for what? Like, oh, you know, his dog, he broke his chain. I'm like, yeah, good luck. I'd love it if that guy brought me to court. Yeah, because that chain with its one link, it's not even as strong as first of all, it's a metal chain, right? At its weakest point, you wouldn't even know what its weakest point was. Metal degrades, it has weak points from the factory, you know. It could have been the weakest point on that. We could have literally just gone like this and it could have broken. There's no proof in any of that the chain broke. Like, look at the dog, he was fine. I didn't hit the dog. Did anybody tell you I did anything to the dog? No, they say I broke the fight up. Like, come on, what's he gonna? He was like, oh, you messed with his dog, he could charge you. I was like, dude, can I just go now? If this is how this is gonna be, like, I'm just gonna go home now if this is what this is. You know, if you're not even gonna charge this cat, right? Hey, because like it's all he said, she said nonsense. Let me just get out of here. I'm gonna go to the fun store. I'm gonna have a big old Uncle Tito's when I get home, and I'm gonna sleep this off because if it's the Wild West, then whatever, right? I'm gonna go home. And I know that the guy who you wanted to be in the Wild West wasn't the dude they were telling stories about. You wanted to be the dude that just chilled. Because he's the one that had the nice long life. He got to go home and eat the sandwiches every night after people shot each other in the streets. I'll fight for your honor, Betsy Lou. Now you're dead in the street. Other cat gets to go have sandwiches. Yeah, dude, it's the pits that are there are all nice. I don't disrespect the breed. I mean, I think that when you get a bad owner with a pit bull, it's game over. Game over. Anyway, I don't think I ever have to worry about seeing that dumbass back down there. Not after the scene he made. And if I did, I would just laugh. Yeah, anywhere in the world. Polk County's just one of these places, you know what I mean? Like, it was the cop, he didn't like me, I could tell. As soon as it all got broken up, he was mad. He was like, you know, he didn't like my car, he didn't like that Ari was a service dog, he didn't like any of it. He was just like, oh yeah, whatever, dude. You know, you don't know pit bulls? Like, that's how he was from the jump. I'm like, oh great, I already know how this is gonna shake out. So anyway. Hey, look at, man, I love all you guys, but at the end of the day, none of it, the tough guy mentality, it never wins out, ever. 0% of the time, even when you're the guy. I've been that guy before last night. I beat the pants out of people. In my younger days, I had lit dudes up, just going home, having wrecked them. You never feel good about it, ever. Ain't no prize fighting. This ain't our career, right? We all humans. Your hand hurts for a week. It's like, what the hell? Ain't no point in any of it. Ain't nobody scary, right? Because at the end of the day, anybody can buy a gun and it's pretty easy to just shoot somebody and kill them. So ain't nobody scary, really. Whether you're The Rock or whether you're Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. Like, ain't nobody really that scary, you know? Everybody's knees break the same way. Everybody gets stabbed the same way. Everybody gets shot the same way. And all I've learned is that the violence, the intimidation, all of it, none of it works. It's better to laugh at a guy like that if I ever saw him again. You know? Better just laugh it all off. Laugh at myself. Better to take all the ownership myself. Be like, you know, I'm responsible for who and who only? Myself, right? So next time, dip. Stay away from Polk County. It's where I live. Can't stay away from it. No, I'm cool. I don't care. That dog park's great. That stuff worries me. I ain't worried about it. In a way, I mean, you know, I'm still a boy, right? I'm still a boy. I'm proud of myself for being able to take 3 shots blindsided and just eat them and have my hands right up to block the rest and know that I've got enough self-control nowadays to, what if I lost it on that guy? I'm not the kind of guy you want to lose it on you. Him, apparently the universe can spare a guy like that. He gets pissed and throws some shots. I ate him like a champ, right? If I got pissed, I wouldn't have thrown some shots at that guy. I would have wrapped him up and he'd have been in trouble. And I'd have hurt him bad. Because that's who I am. And I can't be that person anymore. I learned all that, right? I went to 36 weeks of batterer's intervention or whatever the hell they call it. You know what I mean? Hari's like... You agree with something there? Is there something there that you agree with? Something you'd like to say? Was there, you were just upset too, right? You didn't like it. You were in the dog park for an hour. You were like, what the hell? What's going on? I was proud. I'm still a boy. I was proud of myself for eating the shots. And I was proud of myself as a man for not doing anything. Just looking at him and being like, same as I always am. You got any more of those, bro? There's something, I can tell you what, I've thrown a lot of punches in my day. And the one time I punched a guy and he ate it, and I gave him the beans and he ate it, it terrified me. Terrified me. I was so nervous because I was like, oh shit, I just gave this everything, you know? So when he punched me 6 times in the face and I just looked at him and was like, you got any more of those you trying to throw? He was like, he was gone instantly. He was probably terrified. He was like, oh shit, this ain't the guy. What caused the issue? You can go back and watch all this if you want. It's only 18 minutes. I don't want to run over it multiple times for everybody that's joining in now. Yeah, exactly. You guys are hilarious. I'm on my way. Tell them I'll meet him. Hope you got some shots in. Lizzie. Lizzie, this guy, he'd have murdered you yesterday. I'm sure you're a very nice person, but if this guy had punched you 6 times as hard as he punched me last night, you might have died. So, trust me, none of you want any of it. I know you think you do, but the reality is most of you don't. Most of you don't want, you know, and even if you are, I don't mean it like that. I'm just talking about, I'm telling you, even being on the good side of it never feels good. Unless you're a piece of shit. That guy probably slept like a baby. I'm not, right? So when I've had these moments, I always end up looking at myself like, damn, Tom. You know, not last night. I think last night my lesson to be learned is just to, as I do in Disney, if I see something going down at the dog park, I just dip, right? She was thinking like, whoa. You know, she was definitely a little bit, he left his wife, he peeled off. I got all the videos of his son. His son was like Fortnite and me and stuff. I was like, God, I hate this family. That's all I could think the whole time. I got 911 on the line. There's the stupidest people on earth. What's the address? I'm like, to the state park or to the county park? The address? You think I know that? I'm like, it's off of 27. It's got the fire and rescue right at the top. There's only one of them. There's only one. That's the one I'm at. Hopefully you get here. And I just hung up. And then they called me back. They're like, sir, they're asking you if I stay on the line. I'm like, that's great. That ain't happening because I'm a little busy. I'm like, you know where to come. If you miss him, you miss him. I hung up and they got him right at the top. But it didn't matter that they got him because they all just we all ended up having to just kick rocks anyway. Everybody see you later. It was crazy. I bent license plate, peeling up out the thing, speeding in the parking lot, the littering of all the stuff that fell out of his car. I bet you he walked away with just walked away. Because he got the right cops. The cops liked him. There was something about it, it was a, and again, I'm not a racist kind of guy, but I feel like sometimes in these situations, race plays this crazy role in these situations. That he was a black cop, was a Latino guy, he needed a Latino translator, so it was a Latino cop that showed up, and the minute they started talking to that guy, it was all a different story, right? It was like, oh, he doesn't say he punched you. I'm like, of course he doesn't. His hands don't look like he punched you. I'm like, well, that's because in my head, I'm thinking that's because he's a bitch and he doesn't know how to punch. But he did. And all those people told you that. And they're like, well, actually, all the people told us they only saw an altercation happen. So we don't know who did what. I'm like, so nothing's going down. Can I just go home? I'm just going to go home. They're like, ah, well, he could press charges on you, too. I'm like, that's great. Tell him I'd love to see him in court. I'm like, you got to be shitting me. Right? You gotta actually be shitting me. My old attorney is like a judge in Polk County now. Like, you gotta be shitting me. You think that I'm like nervous about bringing, come on. This guy bent. He's like, what's the bent license? He kept saying to me, he's like, what's the bent license plate have to do with anything? I'm like, do you think that's what normal people do? They bend their license plate and they peel off when they think they're in the right? No, he would have waited for you. He'd have called you, right? If you had any kind of fucking brain is what I wanted to be saying to these guys. If you had any brain in your head, which I know is not a requirement to be a police officer. I know that comes extra. You usually get to be a detective if you have a brain, or you get to be the supervisor that you're on the phone with, right? Relaying terrible information to. So trust me, I know if I went down to the Polk County substation and I ended up talking to a sheriff and I asked to record it, I told him hey, this is who I am, I'll go to the news, all that shit, it'd be a whole different story, right? Whole different story. I don't care enough. That ain't what it's about. It ain't about any of that. It's about having examined the situation, seeing how it played out, that I could try to break up a fight at the dog park, get punched in the head 6 times, have everybody that says they were a witness and had my back say they didn't know what happened really, right? And not want to get involved when it comes time to fill out the statements. Waste 2 hours of my life for nothing. That's the situation, right? So now I know. Next time, I'd break up the dogfight again. If I felt justified, if I felt like the hero of the day. But because we all got to walk away, and apparently I was supposed to feel lucky that this guy didn't charge me for something. Yeah, I ain't never. I will watch I will watch old ladies in Polk County get their purse stolen, and I will sit there and not move a muscle. This county is all on its own. If it's the Wild West and I ain't got no representation, great. That's great with me. Hey, I'm cool. You'd hope that I like this guy. I like this sheriff. I think he's a cool guy, this Grady Judd. I think he's an all right dude. In terms of a lot of the stuff he says. I don't think he'd have been on that side of this guy last night. I think I know what would have happened if he was the one that had shown up. You know what I mean? He would have put 2 and 2 together because he's not an idiot. Even a supervisor, I should have requested it all, right? I should have just jumped on it. I should have been on that guy's. I should have been an asshole. I should have been like, get your supervisor down here, this, that, and the third. But you know what? I didn't. Because I think from the jump, I knew that ultimately I could have just walked away. I could have just taken my dog out this little scrap and walked away. So it's sad because here's the thing, right? And I'm going to tell you 2 stories that'll pertain to this especially. One night, Ari got lost out here in the neighborhood. Not lost, but she got loose on me in the neighborhood. And I was having a tough time getting her back because she was younger. And all my neighbors were outside, and I was screaming for help, and nobody helped me. They all just like stared at me, like it was insane. So I got her, and then I was walking back, and I looked at all of them. I was like, yeah, thanks a lot. Like, great neighbors y'all are. But you know what? I understand now. Because you go and try to help me, and then what if you hurt the dog trying to help me? Now you're in trouble because you wanted to be a good person. It's the world we live in. I was running through that dog parking lot, barefoot, ripping, screaming, hey, help, help, somebody stop that guy. Everybody just staring at me like I was the electrical light parade. Like, not even fireworks. I wasn't even that exciting to their lives. They were all so not giving a fuck that they were just like, wow, look at that. That's cool. It's sad. I think that's ultimately what I'm gonna come off of and being sad. I'll be mostly sad. I want to leave this short so that people can go back and watch it because I had a lot of questions about this today. But I might even, do another. I'm gonna just rest today, and I'll let people watch this back, and then tomorrow, we can do a more long thing. I need to rest my head today. I can tell you that if a 10-year-old blind shotted you as hard as he could to the back of your head, you'd feel it. So a full-grown man 6 times to the dome piece, I feel some type of way today. So I need to get that bag of French fries back on my head. Luckily, my neck's feeling all right now. It was a little tight this morning, and my jaw is right here. It's like, it's where it's really got the most still going on. But other than that, I'm all right. That wasn't that bad. If he had busted me up a little bit more, maybe I'd be more upset. But like I said, it was good that I took the lessons I've learned and I didn't escalate the situation any further, That is so important to me. And the number one thing that I could walk away from yesterday being proud of, because there wasn't much to be proud of, right? That lady thanking me about her dogs, all that. Now in retrospect, knowing that she didn't even tell those guys that guy totally blindsided me, whatever. She was like, oh, I don't really know what happened. They thanking me, like, oh, thanks for breaking up the fight when I got back to the dog park. If I had known what she had actually, I'd been like, lady, kiss, go to hell, lady. I can't believe, like, I tried to help your dogs. And you come up here to tell these cops, I don't really know what happened. They were kind of playing, and then all of a sudden things got aggressive. Like, no. You tell them the fucking dog was attacking your dogs like it was, and then this guy went over, tried to break it up. You can even mention the fact that I tried to grab the dog's chain. The chain broke, and then that guy just lit me up. But no, just a thank you. That was all she was prepared for. Just to watch my dog for an hour. Like, you do that, you interrupt your whole day. You'll go watch my dog for an hour while I sit up here with these cops, but you won't just tell them, like, what happened? You don't want to get involved because you don't want that on, like, your conscience or something? All I know is it just seems to be an epidemic down here. Because I see people all too often, like, who look like they need help, and nobody gives a rat's ass. So, that's it. I'm okay. Let's do a summary. Number 1, Tom's fine. Number 2, he needs to rest today. Number 3, the world is in a weird state, guys. I see it every day in the park. I've seen it on the roads. I see it in the stores. People are not as respectful, kind, communicative as they once were. Do not go out into the world expecting positive interactions. And then you won't be as disappointed. And you'll be able to rationally look at situations. Don't be the hero. It's not worth it. You'll have as much regret either way. Nice guys always finish last. That's a phrase that is often, Jeff. That's a phrase that's often brought up in these kind of moments. Don't be the hero. I said this to Jenna last night. I said, do you know what happens to most heroes? How they got to be heroes? They died. So do you want to be the hero? Dead? I remember him. What a great thing he did. Saved the situation. Or do you want to be the guy who watched the hero die and you went home and ate a sandwich? At 35, I'm the sandwich guy now. Good night. Well, good afternoon. I'm used to doing this in the evening. Good afternoon. I hope you all have an excellent rest of your day. With 93 of you here, it's very tough for me to cut you loose. But Casey finished up our weekly goal yesterday. I had a killer bit of, I really got a rest today. As much as I'd love to sit here and chat with you guys about Disney and the world and all the crazy things that have happened. Go watch Pat. I think he might still be live. If he's not, I know Josh and Jen are live tonight. Anyway, enjoy your sandwich. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate that. Thanks to everybody who sent me messages on Instagram. That was very, very kind of you all. I'm fine. Disappointed. Myself, the community, the world, the situation. But hey, growing. That's all you can do. Just grow. I appreciate y'all. Much love. Thanks for listening to my tale of woe. I'll be back tomorrow for normal stream. And we'll make some tacos tomorrow or something. Big shout out to Jenna for sending me a chocolate trifle today. She's the best. I'm such a lucky guy. I wish she had been there yesterday, because then she could have confirmed to somebody that I got rocked and I didn't put my hands up. That'll all probably be changing soon. There'll be some announcements that'll be being made over the next few weeks. I am gonna play with this dog now. And I gotta at least bring her outside in the neighborhood today. I think I'm going back to the dog park today. Or maybe even this weekend. I want Ari to know that she's not gonna go there every day. And perhaps it's time, maybe that was a little bit of a wake-up call to say, hey, it's time to get Ari back to the resorts and to that training, not to the dog park everyday training, because that's what normal dogs are. She's a service dog. She needs to get prepped to be in those parks. So it's time to stop going over there every day and start going to the resorts and stuff. That's it? That's it. No. If I ever need to go to the dog park, I'm 100% going to that one. My tax dollars pay for that place. And I certainly don't have any trepidation of anybody who was there and saw me get my ass fucking slammed. I don't think anybody would be like, oh man, there's that guy. They'd be like, hey, nice job that one time you tried to break up that fight and that guy fucking wrecked you. I'd be like, yeah, thanks. I'm like, yeah, thanks. Don't let that, no, never. Are you kidding me? That's my, you fucker. Oh, Ari was chewing her rope on my foot and she missed one of her bites and she got me. Ari, I'm beat up enough for crying out loud. I don't need you biting my toes too. And they pay for police. How did that help? That's helped plenty. Anytime I've ever had to call the house on my call the cops on my Airbnb neighbors who want to blast music at 5 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock at night, or you know what I mean, 2 o'clock in the morning, in the middle of the night, middle of the morning, they always show up and shut that shit down right away. 15-minute call. So they're good for when they're good. I get it. I'm really good at seeing the world from everybody's perspective. It's one of my best attributes by far. I'm a cop. I love pit bulls. I show up to this call at the dog park about some guy who maybe he didn't really understand the situation in my eyes. A pit bull was just being a pit bull. And then this guy, he thinks he can just take over some other guy's dog, grab it so hard that the chain breaks. I'd have kicked his ass too. This is Polk County. Right? So, maybe you can stay at that place. Yeah, you can rent it forever, man. You can probably rent it for a year. That's what the guys next door to me do. The one that's two houses down. That's the one that's like a crazy Airbnb. It is what it is, man. Hell yeah, it is. So anyway, that's the long and the short of it. We peeled back a couple people. I had about 95 there for a second. I said, I can't stop this right now. No. Lizzie, we're going to have to talk. I don't like where your head's at. You're going to have to message me. It's not... What do you think I'd be... You think I would feel good today if I had shot somebody yesterday? Message me on Instagram. We got to talk. I got to teach you a little bit about nonviolent confrontation. Anyway, I appreciate y'all having my back. It means a lot to me. Hitting the button now. I'm gonna make myself an early 1:30 in the afternoon Uncle Tito's because I ain't leaving this house. I'll probably have a couple today. Janet sent me some groceries from Walmart, including the chocolate trifle. She's the best. Shout out to her. Cindy, thank you. And again, everybody, I just want to give a big shout out to Jason for yesterday's donation to the channel. It was incredibly nice of him to finish out the weekly goal. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.